LeBron, baseline, that's thrown out of bounds. We're into the corner. Oh, the Bluebirds are out. And they are really out. And there is...
What am I watching right now? Look at this! This isn't even funny anymore. This is just sad. I don't even think I can fully comprehend the fact that a LeBron James led team is barely gonna make the playoffs, and in my opinion, I don't even think they're gonna make the playoffs nor play in, let alone. I love roasting the Lakers because I'm a Suns fan and I honestly love watching this right now. However, it's just gotten sad at this point. It's not even a funny joke to make anymore. But shit, I'm gonna enjoy making fun of the Lakers because I've dealt with so much stuff from Laker fans after the Phoenix Suns lost in the NBA Finals, so you know what, this is kind of my revenge. All jokes aside, the Lakers have a lot of problems that I'm kind of just repeating that I've said for so many times during this season. However, some more things have came out and we need to discuss them. Before I get into the content, if you guys could leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new and notifications on. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year and your subscription would be greatly appreciated. And number two, on Wednesday, I'm going to be streaming live on Twitch, twitch.tv/ImSpex. I'm going to be streaming every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The goal is to stream around 3 to 5 p.m. on Wednesday, so make sure you guys do show out. Like I said, the link will be in the description below and I'd really appreciate it if you show out. I'm gonna probably debate with you guys. We're just gonna look at some NBA clips and just react to some games. I guess we're gonna have a pretty fun time overall on Twitch. With all that being said, let's get into the video. Now, I won't lie, I've wanted to talk about the Lakers for a while. However, it's just been the same thing, so I'd kind of just be rinsing and repeating the facts and just overall what I want to say in the video. However, yesterday's game when the Lakers lost by 30 on their own home court was just one of the saddest losses I've ever seen. This wasn't a normal Lakers loss where they just lost on a bad play or maybe they got blown out by a good team. This was just different, and I no means am calling the Pelicans a bad team. They're honestly really hot right now and CJ McCollum is playing out of his mind, but the way they just played was just not good. The energy they had was non-existent. Overall, they just all looked like they didn't want to be there. And well, maybe that's because one of the players didn't want to be there. During the All-Star break, it was in Cleveland, and of course, all the rumors of LeBron James wanting to go back to the Cleveland Cavaliers when his contract was up started to flare. And it didn't help when he said his last season was going to be on the same team as his son. So it seems like LeBron James is inevitably going to leave the Lakers. However, I honestly just never saw LeBron James retiring as a Laker. I thought he would at least retire as a Cav, or at least on a different team that involved his son. And I don't care what you do, I don't see the Lakers getting Bronny James and LeBron at the same time. Now, I actually did make a full video about the whole LeBron James situation. I'll put the link in the description below, or you can just go to my recent videos. I did it like a couple days ago. But one thing I didn't really touch on the fact was that LeBron James is going back into the locker room. He's coming back to his team after the All-Star break after saying all these things. I want to say around 1 to 2 days after the All-Star break, LeBron James and his team did damage control, basically saying that they had no plans to leave the Lakers. However, if I'm LeBron James's teammates, I won't exactly be thrilled that our team captain, the leader of our team, is planning on leaving this team as soon as possible. Now, but don't worry, LeBron James recorded his 530-point game in his NBA career, even though realistically he's been playing like he doesn't even want to be out there, and the fact of the matter remains that I don't think his heart is in basketball right now. At least he's not playing like it. If you look at the stats, they're gonna say otherwise, but that's why you need to actually watch the game, or at least at the bare minimum try to watch highlights. I'm not saying he's not doing good, but we just look at the fact of how the Lakers are doing and that your main priority should be winning. It's not exactly a good look for LeBron, but this isn't entirely his fault, and I'm not going to spin it as it is. They have another problem that we need to address. It has came full circle after last night, and I've kind of been on this train for a while, and I'm just going to go full force. Now, firing Frank Vogel is probably not the smartest thing right now. However, if they did make that decision, I don't think Lakers fans would be mad because I don't know how Frank Vogel was a head coach. I said this when they won their NBA championship during 2020. He got carried by LeBron and AD just straight up, and it's not like he was making good rotations. He wasn't even being a good coach. It was just Anthony Davis and LeBron doing everything. And I know this is going to be kind of weird to understand, but you're like, I mean, coaches obviously don't play, but let's look at this at a different context. Let's say Monty Williams from the Phoenix Suns, because obviously Monty Williams is not suiting up for the Suns or anything like that. However, his his motivation, what he says to his players, and the different rotation things as a coach that he does contributes to his team actually winning. And I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue how Monty Williams did not win Coach of the Year last year. I would like to think he's gonna win it this season because I think Monty Williams is easily the best coach in the NBA right now. Yeah, I said what I said. Because number one, like I said earlier, if you just hear the man talk and the motivation he can give to you as a player, you honestly want to go suit up right then and there in that moment. Frank Vogel doesn't really do anything like that. In fact, Frank Vogel just seems like he's kind of there just letting LeBron and AD do everything. He's not really doing any smart rotation decisions either. Some Suns fans might get mad at me for saying this, even though, mind you, I was rooting for the Suns obviously. However, there were so many situations where the Lakers could have won last year. For example, there were games where Montrezl Harrell was going crazy and then the next game they wouldn't play him a single minute. Obviously, Anthony Davis getting hurt did not help out the Lakers situation whatsoever. However, that really did expose what happens when you lose your star player. And I think this should honestly prove the fact that head coaches are a lot more valuable than we give them credit for. Because if you threw Frank Vogel on the Suns and you threw Monty Williams on the Lakers, I think their records would be a lot different. The Suns are by far a better team than the Lakers, and it's not even close. However, if you put Monty Williams on that Lakers team, I think they do some damage. So yes, firing Frank Vogel at this time wouldn't be the smartest thing just for the fact that the season's about to end. However, like I said earlier, I think it's the best decision overall. What's crazy is realistically they still could make the playoffs, even though I have a weird feeling that they're gonna fall and not even make the play-in and be a lottery team, which is just sad because LeBron James literally hand constructed this team and they were supposed to do so well and they were so hyped up. However, they've done nothing. I think this also proves the fact that you can't just throw three big name players together and expect them to do well. See, their play styles are varied and that's something we need to take account for. LeBron James and Russell Westbrook are both ball dominant players. However, LeBron James isn't the best three-point shooter. He's improved this season because he's need to kind of play that role, but he's not an ideal three-point shooter. Anthony Davis in past years has been pretty consistent, but for some reason this year, and I know he's been injured a lot, but when he is playing, his three-point shooting has been And don't even get me started on Russell Westbrook's three-point shooting. So your three-star players, the most important players to your team, cannot even shoot a jumper past 15 feet, which proves my point that spacing is definitely a problem for the Lakers, and if you don't have spacing, then your offense is going to be bad. It's simple stuff like this that the Lakers need to fix, and honestly at this point, I think they should just throw away the season and focus on next year. I think they already have that mindset because they literally made 0 trades before the trade deadline, and they needed to make at least a couple if they wanted to improve. Whether it's trading Russell Westbrook or trading some of the older guys on your team, or LeBron James trading himself, which I heard is a possibility, I don't really see that happening to be honest. But whether they make any of those trades or they just sign better free agents, then it's up to the Lakers if they want to improve. I think this Lakers team has an opportunity to be really good, but it's just simple things like work on your spacing, work on a better offense overall, straight up just play like you actually want to be there. Playing in LA is a pretty toxic place to play, and I might get some hate from that from Lakers fans, but I mean, let's look at the facts. The amount of hate you get for playing for the Lakers if you guys are doing really bad is insane to me. Every Lakers fan loved Russell Westbrook before the season started, and now we look at the fact that they want this man gone, and they've even said the same thing about LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I thought LeBron James was safe from criticism, but no player on this Lakers team is safe from criticism except Austin Reeves. All jokes aside, we all said the Lakers had a chance to be good, and I think we were all just assuming by the end of the season they're gonna turn up. We said this in October, we said this during December before the Christmas Day game, we said this during January, and now we're at March almost. The playoffs started in nearly a month, and the Lakers are nowhere near from getting better. Don't get me wrong, LeBron James is the type of player to go on an insane run to try to help team get a better seeding and overall just go on a crazy run in the playoffs. However, this doesn't look like one of those years. Because if the Lakers play even close to the way that they played last night versus the Pelicans, this team is not even a lottery team. They're essentially a joke to the NBA and the bottom of the barrel in the Western Conference.